let's talk about cactuses.
Excellent.
I know this is random, and I gotta give a shout out to Nisha because she actually I sent her a message. Was like, "Yo, can you hook up some of these pictures of me in front of a saguaro cactus?" And she found some glorious pictures of me in front of a saguaro and her actually. Oh, she sent one of her, which is quite hilarious. Um, I want to show you this picture. This is right near my mom's house. Look at this beautiful cactus.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Now, this cactus, if I were to guess, is probably about 200 years old. Maybe older. It could be older, but between 150 and 200 years old. And I don't know if you know much about saguaro cactus, but guess what? You're about to learn something tonight
I'm
about
ready.
saguaro cactuses. All right, so they're only found in one place in the world. Did you know that?
I think I actually did know that. Yeah, they're in Arizona, right?
Arizona.
Mhm.
Arizona. Yep.
Mhm.
And basically Tucson is like smack dab in the very center of Saguaro land. And they're really cool. I don't know what brought this up. I was talking about yesterday. Someone was talking about cactuses in my chat over on my Twitch channel. I'm like, you know what? Cactuses are cool. You know about saguaro cactuses? And everyone's like, no. And I started looking up facts. I'm like, this is actually kind of cool. Like, I'm just gonna talk about it on my show. Let's talk about cactuses because why not? What? That one is 300 years old? That one specifically? Wow. Well, the oldest, well, I'll get to it. I don't know if that one's exactly 300 years old. This one here, because one of the oldest saguaros ever was 300 years old, and I have a picture of it, and I'll show it to you, and I will compare them. And I don't know if this one exactly is 300 years old, but I'll explain why in a second when we get there. Okay, so just saguaro cactuses, I mean, they're amazing. These things are incredible. They swell in size. They can last forever because, well, not last forever, but they live in a dry, dusty area that rains basically for a month once a year. You know,
Hmm.
like they have monsoon seasons in Arizona where it basically never rains until the end of the summer when it gets really, really hot, and then it just dumps water. So saguaros are really cool. Saguaro cactuses, pronounced saguaro, I know how to pronounce that, of course, is the icon of the American West. Images of these cacti are seen all through our lives as a symbol of the American desert. A trip to the Sonoran Desert is not complete without examining one of these famous desert plants. These huge green columnar cactus have fascinated nearly every person who has ever seen one. To the local Tohono O'odham people, the saguaro cactuses are even more important. These giant cactus are not plants to the Tohono O'odham, but a different type of humanity, and are viewed as respected members of the Tohono O'odham tribe. While the saguaro cactus has been a symbol of the American West, the saguaro cactus will only grow in the Sonoran Desert. As a desert indicator species, the range of the saguaro cactus is limited to southern Arizona. Saguaro cactus will grow from sea level to about 4,000 feet in elevation. The farther north and higher in elevation you go, the saguaro cactus will restrict their growth to the warmer south-facing slopes. Saguaro cactus are plentiful within the Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument. Impressive saguaro forests can be seen along the Ajo Mountain Drive. And I have my favorite one is the one that Nisha sent me that picture. It's a really amazing picture. In fact, here's me
Oh
sitting
my
in
God.
sitting in front of it. That is actually my little Vespa. That was my grandmother's, and it was given to me. It's from 1976. It's called a Yamaha Chappie. And this is me. This was my favorite spot. I would drive over here and just chill and look at this saguaro. And then this is Nisha standing
That's
right in front of us.
amazing.
You can see the site. She's hilarious. I don't know what. Of course, she's wearing my hoodie there. But this is incredible. All right, so it's the largest cactus in the United States and will normally reach the height of 40 feet tall. The tallest
That's
saguaro cactus even measured
crazy.
towering 78 feet in the air. A 78-foot cactus. Can you imagine that?
How
Craziness.
how tall is like the average story on like a building? Like, how many stories would that be on a building?
10 feet to 12 feet, maybe
Yeah.
a story, I guess.
That's crazy. So that's like, you're talking about like 6, 7 stories.
Yeah, really, really tall.
Wow.
So it grows as a column at a very slow rate, with all growth occurring at the tip or the top of the cactus. It can take 10 years for a saguaro cactus to reach 1 inch in height. By 70 years of age, the saguaro cactus can reach 6.5 feet tall and will, reach, 1 inch, and will finally start to produce their first flowers. And here, they actually are really pretty flowers. Let's see here. By 95 to 100 years in age, a saguaro cactus can reach a height of 15 to 16 feet and can start to produce its first arm. By 200 years old, a saguaro cactus has reached its full height, reaching upwards to 45 feet tall. Some saguaros have been seen with dozens of arms, while other cactus never produce a single one. Why this happens remains one of the desert's mysteries, which is pretty cool. A saguaro cactus is a master of desert survival. Every aspect of this plant is specifically designed to thrive in the sometimes harsh Sonoran desert. Sometimes? Okay, I've walked around this desert. Literally every single plant has spikes, and almost every single animal wants to eat you. All right, I'm just saying, or is poisonous and could kill you. All right, so sometimes harsh. It's pretty much harsh at all times. The skin of the saguaro cactus is covered in a thick, waxy coating that waterproofs the plant and reduces water loss to the air through transpiration. The skin of the cactus is covered with hard spines and flexible bristles as a method of defending the water stored inside. Ooh, you know what? Nisha actually has one of those spikes. Let me see. Can you... I got to see if I can get a hold of that, because she actually has it. They're super long. I'll show you if she brings it in here. The root system of the saguaro cactus is equally as impressive. The cactus will send a large single taproot straight down into the soil to the depth of around 5 feet. The taproot gives the cactus access to water that is stored deep underground. The main roots of the saguaro cactus are quite different. The cactus sends out a massive maze-like array of roots very close to the surface. On average, these roots within 3 inches of the surface, allowing the cactus to easily collect whatever rain might fall. Most rain in Arizona hits the ground and just runs to the lowest pot. Like, they have crazy rushes of water because the ground doesn't soak it up. The ground is really hard and caked. Any water that hits the ground is usually just going to wherever the lowest point is. So, because it's actually really dangerous in some places in Arizona, they have signs. Flood zone. Be very careful during a rain because this has been known to be like an instant flood. It's pretty crazy. Oh, snaps. Oh, that's a mesquite tree. I think those are mesquite trees. I think you're right. Well, yeah, this is what I was thinking of. But look at this freaking thing. Can you see it? Look how big this spike is.
Wow, that's crazy.
So this is not a saguaro, but this is from a mesquite tree. That's just one of the things that I was talking about that has spikes on it. Like, this thing is, look at this. It's like as long as my hand. This is like a 3-inch spike. That's nuts. Oh, here, take this one too. Thank you. All right, and it's crazy. Let's see here. Very little water is instantly used. Instead, most of the water collected ends up being stored within the cactus during the periods of drought. The interior of the cactus is filled with a sponge-like tissue, which is used to hold the water. As more and more water gets stored, the skin of the cactus begins to expand, making room for more storage. As a result, the saguaro cactus can become quite heavy as more and more water is stored. At full capacity, a foot of saguaro cactus can weigh upwards of 90 pounds.
Wow.
And a full height saguaro can weigh over a ton. Now,
that's nuts.
I've seen them swell. It really does. It just, they're thin, and then all of a sudden they become like really bulbous, and it's cool to see. You can see visibly if they're filled with water. Saguaro cactus will produce flowers during the late spring into early summer. In average years, the flowering occurs between April and June. The flowers are milky white and emit a sweet nectar, which attracts multiple species of bats. These bats feast on the flower nectar, in process act as pollinators for the saguaro cactus. As the cactus produce fruit, the bat will start to eat the fruits and in turn help to spread the saguaro seeds across the desert. All right, now check this out. These are the 4 oldest cacti in the world, and they're all, I'm pretty sure they're all saguaros. So this is the Oro Valley Saguaro. This one's 200 years old. Okay. And so this one's very similar to this one, which is the one right down the street from my
Right.
mom's house. So I think that one is a little more around 200 years old. This is the grand one.
The grand one.
This is also saguaro. This one says 180 to 300 years old. I'm going to guess it's more like 240, 250. But you can see this guy standing right in front of it. That thing is massive. That's like 30, 40 foot tall cactus. All right, then we got the Mexican giant cardon, which is actually not a saguaro, but this one's 300 years old. It's a little different style. But then we have the old granddaddy.
Oh my god.
Saguaro. This is, let's get some zoom in on this. The granddaddy of saguaros. Look at this thing. Look how many arms this thing's got. This is the granddaddy. Sadly to say, it actually has died.
Oh.
It was 300 years old when the saguaro cactus started to die in the 90s. It was the oldest known cactus ever in the world. Not only was granddaddy old, it was a giant, over 40 feet tall, and had 52 arms. Craziness, 52 arms. According to Saguaro National Park, where Old Granddaddy was located, the cactus was afflicted with bacterial necrosis, which typically affects older cacti. The disease caused Old Granddaddy to rot and made the cactus turn brown. Old Granddaddy's arms almost fell off before Old Granddaddy's death. It was one of the most visited and photographed cacti at Saguaro National Park. That thing is old.
Well, listen, Old Granddaddy lived a long and glorious life, so we can't feel too sorry for it.
You know what? You're absolutely right, huh? We gotta count our blessings. Like that dude lived a great long life. Old Granddaddy.
Can you imagine, like even just think about this for a second, like a 300-year-old cactus. Can you imagine, like in the West? Can you imagine all the things that cactus has seen?
Oh yeah.
Like honestly, that's crazy when you think about it.
True that. I mean, there's some old towns out there, and the gold rush. You know, who knows? 300 years. I mean, there's a 600-year-old shark. I think 600, maybe 500 years, but they just discovered it in the Arctic. Crazy. Way down deep. And these things have been around for a long time. So rest in peace, Granddaddy. You will be remembered.